Hello from Washington, D.C., or as they say on the hill behind me, the center of the universe. Everywhere you look in this town, there is no mistaking where you are. It is celebrated at every single turn. You are in America. America the strong, America the free, America, our next-door neighbor. They are our greatest friends, our strongest allies. They are kind, they are generous. They have an uncanny ability to go on at great lengths on subjects they know absolutely nothing about. I've spent a lot of time traveling in America, and I've spoken to many of its people, and I've come to a conclusion, and I have a confession to make. My name is Rick Mercer, and I love America. And yes, this is
Talking to America, the Special.
As you're probably aware, it's been widely reported that the mining rights to Mount Rushmore is actually held by a Canadian company. They say that they want to do preliminary explorations to see if there's any plutonium in the mountains. They want to do precision blasting in the off-season, but some people are saying that's not acceptable. They should be forced to drill into the heads from behind. What do you think?
I think probably from the back.
I think from the back of the mountain. Why mess up? You know, this is a national monument.
Choose the course which has the least impact on the environment. Right. And if that involves precision blasting, which it should, I think that's probably okay.
So do you think they should be forced, even though it's more expensive, to drill into the heads from behind?
Yes.
The Canadian government, after many, many years of asking and being turned down, has finally gotten permission from the U.S. government to build an exact replica of Mount Rushmore. And there's also talk of adding, in a phase 2, of 3 extra heads, Taft, Nixon, and Mulrooney. What do you think of that?
I don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all.
And not Taft, Nixon, or Mulrooney?
No. Not particularly Taft. I think FDR should be on there.
Right. Yeah. So you wouldn't mind seeing Mulrooney added on?
No.
Do you think Taft, Nixon, and Mulrooney are not prime examples of the best American presidents?
I think there's others that show more American spirit.
We're doing a story on a mountain in Canada that will be inspired by Mount Rushmore, and it's going to have Canada's most famous Eskimo president on it, and his name was Mulrooney Yuck.
Congratulations.
Canada on Mount Mulrooney Yuck.
Mulrooney Yuck.
Congratulations, Canada, on Mount Mulrooney Yuck.
Mount Mulrooney Yuck.
Hello, Canada. Our Eskimo neighbors to the south.
So if Reagan is on the mountain, do you think Reagan is okay? Yeah?
They're going to put him on.
Yeah, he was the president.
Yeah, he was.
They all have their faults, and he was one of them. So.
Yeah. And if Reagan's on the mountain, should they have Mulrooney's feet sticking out of the backside? Do you think that America should be bombing Bouchard?
Yes.
Should NATO be bombing Bouchard?
Yeah.
Do you think America should be bombing Bouchard?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think that the United States should just stand by and allow Canada to ignore the U.S. Constitution and everything that great document stands for?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No. Congratulations, Canada, for legalizing insulin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the diabetics, thank you. And do you think that America should attempt to free Nelson Mandela?
Yes.
Do you think America should line up its ground troops and send them into Gilles Duceppe?
I think they should line up the ground troops, yes.
And send them into Gilles Duceppe?
Yes.
Do you think that America should be bombing Saskatchewan?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
What about ground forces? Do you think ground forces should be sent into Saskatchewan? That might be safer?
That's what they're going to have to do. That's what they're going to have to do.
So bomb Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, cool.
Have a good day.
Congratulations, Canada, for getting a McDonald's.
Congratulations, Canada. 800 miles of paved road.
How about ground troops lining up and entering Gilles Duceppe? How do you feel about that?
Got to do what you got to do. If we're going to get in it, might as well get in all the way.
And how long do you think Gilles Duceppe could withstand the pounding?
Not much longer.
Just read it to yourself, and then if you want to.
This part here?
Yeah.
To the Right Honorable Paul Martin Jr., Prime Minister in Waiting.
I'm not sure how to say that.
How do you say that?
Tet.
Ted
Dumer.
Dumer.
Ted Dumer.
Tet Dumer. Tet Dumer.
Excellent. Tet Dumer, Ottawa, Canada.
Given that 2001 has been declared the year of the senior citizen, we demand that the Government of Canada discourage the Canadian tradition of placing senior citizens on northern ice floes and leaving them to perish.
Yeah, I'll sign that.
So what are you studying again?
History.
Right, very good.
I definitely believe that senior citizens shouldn't be placed on ice floes.
And you're a prof here?
Yeah.
How many years?
9.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Good school?
Yeah.
We're doing a story on the Russian invasion of Chechnya and Saskatchewan, and the Russians keep invading that area, and we're wondering whether peacekeepers should be sent into Saskatchewan to protect the civilians.
I think so, definitely. I think peacekeeping is number one priority for international relations.
Do you feel bad for the people in Chechnya and Saskatchewan?
Yes.
And you're studying Russian?
I'm studying Russian.
Do you find that there's not enough coverage on the news about Russian invasion into Saskatchewan?
Well, I haven't actually heard about the Saskatchewan invasion. I've only heard about Chechnya, actually. So there's not enough coverage about Saskatchewan.
We demand that the Government of Canada discourage the Canadian tradition of placing senior citizens on northern ice floes, leaving them to perish.
We're doing a story on your state capitol building here, and it's a downscale replica of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And our Capitol building in Canada is actually a downscale model of your Capitol building, except it's made out of ice. It's an igloo, you see. And we're worried about global warming and the fact that it might melt, so we're putting a dome over it. But in order to pay for it, we have to attract tourists. Would you be interested in visiting the Canada's national igloo?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Sure.
Congratulations, Canada, on preserving your igloo.
Congratulations, Canada, on preserving your national igloo.
Yes, indeed.
Well, congratulations, Canada, on becoming part of North America.
Thank you very much. As of the year 2000, we'll be part of North America. Do you think that's a good idea?
I don't know.
Would you pay money to visit Canada's national igloo?
I don't plan on ever going up there.
No?
I never heard of a building made out of ice anyway.
You never heard of an igloo?
Well, yeah, but not a scalpel.
Well, it's Canada.
Sounds right.
As part of the new millennium, one of the things we're doing is going to get a new currency. We want to call it the Canadian dollar, but the U.S. Treasury says that they own the name dollar for their currency, just like in Britain it's called the pound, in America it's called the dollar. We want to call ours the dollar, but they don't want us to call it the dollar. They want us to call it the loonie. What do you think of that? As part of the Millennium celebrations in Canada, the King of Canada will be doing a tour of the United States and be visiting Arkansas. His name is King Lucien Bonhomme.
King Lucien Bonhomme, welcome to Arkansas.
Because it has a loon on it. Who's the governor of Arkansas now?
It's Mike Huckabee.
Mike Huckabee.
Mike Huckabee.
Does he have an education at all, or?
Oh yes, he's a college graduate.
I think he is college educated, though, at least.
He seems like an intelligent guy.
Yes, he does.
Do you think he would know much about, say, Canada-U.S. relations, anything about Canada?
I would think so. I would hope so.
Hi, I'm Governor Mike Huckabee of Arkansas, wanting to say congratulations, Canada, on preserving your national igloo.
Thank you, Governor. Thanks for being part of 22 Minutes.
Thank you.
The most watched news team in Canada.
Excellent.
Thank you. Oh, Canada, we are on top. We're close to the North Pole. Manitoba Dutch.
Oh, yeah, I like this one.
Buchenstaben.
Yeah, Buchenstaben for your cup of coffee.
Yeah, so if in Manitoba, because they only speak Dutch and all the signs have to be in Dutch, if you want to open a Starbucks there, your sign has to say Buchenstaben.
Yeah, you can put Starbucks under it, but it has to be smaller.
But it has to be smaller. San Francisco, California. You know, when Canadians travel abroad, some things precede them. Our maple leaf, our commitment to peacekeeping, and of course, our national anthem, O Canada. It is known, it is loved, it is respected. It is seared in the psyche of all Americans.
Oh, Canada, a great big empty land. We look to America for a helping hand. Hispanic bread and caribou eggs, the blue are big and cold. We are a cup, we're close to the North Pole. Manger poutine. Canada, a lovely winter dream. Oh, Canada.
Well, we're doing a story on the fact that in Canada, there's a motion in the Canadian government to actually change the name of Canada to Chicago. Because as you probably know, Chicago is a native term. It means the land where root vegetables grow. That accurately describes Canada as a nation. We're wondering what people in Chicago think of that idea.
Why would they want to take the name of Chicago? That belongs to us.
I think that sounds awkward.
No, they can't take our name. It's our name.
I think that'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Great, I'd be honored, man. I think we would all party.
So you don't like the idea?
No, I certainly do not.
Congratulations, Canada, on getting FM radio.
Now, the President of the United States says he's sending in 600 troops into East Timor, and if that doesn't do the trick, then he may be forced to bomb the mall in West Edmonton.
Bomb who?
The West Edmonton. They could bomb East Timor and West Edmonton. Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a possibility.
He's going to be forced to bomb the mall in West Edmonton. Do you support that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
Yes.
Congratulations, Canada, on getting a volunteer fire station.
Congratulations, Canada, on getting grade 9.
We're doing a story on the fact that in Canada, as in the United States, of course, there are 4 seasons. But all across Canada, many people believe that none of the 4 seasons accurately describe the 2 months of darkness that all of Canada experiences in July and August. So there's now a movement afoot to actually have a 5th season in Canada. And we have 3 names: the Slumber, the Equinox, or the Canadark.
Canadark.
You like Canadark?
Yeah. Canadark.
You like Canadark?
I think Canadark's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Canadark, definitely.
Yeah, make it 3 on Canadark.
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 There's 4 for the Canadark.
How about just calling them the Montreal Canadiens? That's pretty dark.
It's a meatball made out of beaver. They're called beaver balls. And that's our new national dish. You don't like beaver balls?
I've never had one, but
Oh, well, there you go. Once you have one, you can't stop.
Congratulations, Canada, for making beaver balls your national dish.
Rick Mercer on location at Harvard University, where the great minds and the future leaders of a generation gather in the spirit of knowledge and wisdom which permeates this campus. Are you a student here at Harvard?
Yes, I am.
What are you studying?
I'm studying biological anthropology.
Biological anthropology. We're doing a student reaction to the fact that the Canadian government has announced that they're going to resume the seal slaughter in Saskatchewan. What do you think of that?
Oh, I think that's ridiculous. I don't think there's any point in murdering seals.
Are you a student here at Harvard?
Yes, I am.
And what are you studying?
Biology.
Well, that's good. This is kind of a biological question. We're down here getting students' reaction to the fact that the Canadian government has decided to resume the Calgary seal hunt. What's your reaction to that?
I'm against it. Actually, I'm interested in conservation biology.
Well, what about the fishermen of Saskatchewan say you can't catch a codfish, and that's because the seals are eating all the cod?
Yeah, well, I guess they'll have to start fishing for something else.
Well, if they don't resume the seal hunt in Calgary, what they're hoping would happen is that tourists could visit Calgary and get on a boat with the fishermen and go out to the ice floes and see the seals in their natural habitat. Would you consider ever doing that?
Yes, I would.
We're down here getting reaction to the fact that Canada is opening a university. Would you ever consider going to a university in Canada? It's our first one.
Congratulations, Canada, on opening a university.
Thanks very much. Best of luck with your degree. In Canada, because of the separatist movement, the French separatist movement in Canada, we've decided to allow Irish Canadians to vote. Do you think that's a good idea?
Of course.
Congratulations, Canada, for allowing the Irish to vote.
Well, they're not allowed to vote as it stands right now in Quebec because of, it's Quebec and they're a very different place.
Congratulations, Canada, for allowing the Irish to vote.
Are you a professor here at Harvard?
Professor, yes.
Yes, here at Harvard.
Yeah.
Well, we're down here getting reaction to the fact that the Canadian government has decided to resume the Saskatchewan seal hunt. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's bad myself. Yeah, I'd like to see that stop.
Did you ever consider going to Regina and going on a fisherman's boat, traveling out to the ice floes and looking at a seal?
I suppose that might be a nice vacation.
So we might see you up there someday in Saskatchewan visiting the seals on the ice floes.
Who knows? Good luck.
Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Teaching here at Harvard.
That's right.
Thank you. We're doing a story on the fact that in Canada we have one airline. It's essentially owned by the government, but every plane they've ever operated has been a propeller plane. They've never had jets, and now in Canada they're thinking of getting jets. That's making a lot of Canadians nervous because they've never flown on one.
Okay.
Jets are a more quiet and comfortable ride.
I'd always flown domestically inside of Canada, and you could see the propeller.
Yes. And when the propeller's going and all that...
That makes you feel good.
Yes.
The jets have things that turn and...
Yeah.
For the different...
When the engine does shut down, you can at least have it rotate, auto-rotate and all that.
we don't even use them. You don't even... Well, no, maybe we do. Yeah, we do.
You think we should just stick with the propellers?
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Canada, on getting a second area code.
Well, see, in Canada, we're on a different clock. We've always been on a 20-hour clock, which is similar to the French. And now there's some discussion that we should finally get in line with the United States and move on a 24-hour clock.
So it's not synchronized with U.S.?
No, because an hour of Canadian time actually has 65 American minutes. So the problem is, you as an American, you come to Canada to visit, and then your bus leaves at 4:30, and then you show up for 4:30, and it's really leaving on our clock 10 after 5. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I do, and I think you should go with U.S. time.
It would be very confusing. This is the first I've heard about it. I had no idea that Canada was on a 20-hour clock.
But it's actually the same amount of time, but just our minutes are longer.
Okay.
By American standards.
Well, I think it should be switched.
Yeah.
Canada, please move to the 24-hour clock.
Who's the governor now?
Thomas Vilsack.
His name's Tom Vilsack.
Tom Vilsack.
He's a lawyer by trade, I believe?
He's a lawyer.
So he's an educated man?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
The man is very smart. If he needs to know it, he knows it.
Hi, I'm Governor Tom Vilsack from Iowa. Canada, congratulations on your new 24-hour clock.
Works better on high notes.
Okay.
You know?
This one's not that good.
You are tone deaf.
I am. Because of its long history as the cheese capital of Canada, city officials are thinking of renaming the small town of Ottawa, but can't decide whether between Cheesetown or Cheddarville.
That's good. I like that.
Mayor Al Lastman of Toronto has reinstated the Toronto polar bear hunt. We're telling people about that. We're showing them this petition, and we're asking them to read it.
To Mel Lastman, Mayor of Toronto, Canada.
We, the undersigned, are strongly opposed to your plan to reinstate the Toronto polar bear slaughter.
We find this to be naive and uneducated approach. We find this to be a naive and uneducated approach to what is clearly a serious environmental issue. I am doing recruitment stuff for Green Corps. It's a field school for environmental organizing.
I'd be happy to sign it.
Okay, that'd be great. Actually, did you hear that the Prime Minister, Tim Horton, just got a double-double?
I don't know what a double-double is.
That means he has support of both sides of the Congress in Canada.
Wow.
What are you studying?
Politics.
Oh, yeah?
I'm studying political economy here at Princeton. And congratulations to Prime Minister Horton on his double-double.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Best of luck. You're a professor here at Princeton?
Yes, I am.
That's fantastic.
All right. To Mel Lastman, Mayor of Toronto, Canada. We, the undersigned, are strongly opposed to your plan to reinstate the Toronto polar bear slaughter.
We find this to be a naive and uneducated approach to what is clearly a serious environmental issue.
Thank you very much.
All right. You want me to sign?
Yes, please. So how long have you been a professor here at Princeton?
Since 1960.
The campus at Berkeley. It all began here. The very name is synonymous with student revolution, free speech, and free thought. Students did not come here looking just for a piece of paper. They came here for one reason and one reason only: a higher education. Canada's new Prime Minister, Jean Chrétien, is one of the few black leaders in the G7. He's Canadian-African.
I believe that diversity is very important, especially in government.
Finally, the industrialized nations are getting to a point where they can elect a minority, and it's nice that it's happening in our own hemisphere.
So you were happy to see him elected?
Yes, I was.
Canada just elected a new Prime Minister, and he happens to be of Chinese-Canadian descent. So his name is Jean Chrétien. Jean Chrétien.
I think it's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're happy to see when the recent G7 meeting, Jean Chrétien up there?
Sure.
I think it's a great progressive thing for Canada.
So speaking as a political science student, I guess you're happy to see that Canada's Prime Minister is a Chinese-Canadian?
Yeah, I hope that America follows with that.
In Canada, we just built our longest suspension bridge. It's named after the Prime Minister, Peter Mann, so we call it the Peter Mann's Bridge. Lately, it seems that every week a special interest group is crawling up on the top of Peter Mann's Bridge and protesting. As a result, the government is thinking of making it illegal for anyone to go on top of Peter Mann's Bridge. What do you think? Do you think that we should make this illegal, or that's a legitimate form of protest?
Actually, protest is the matrix for change.
They do get a lot of attention. I mean, once, the first time a protester crawled up on the, Peter Mann's Bridge's head, it got a lot of attention.
Definitely. I would say that that's why they're doing it.
The government shouldn't be allowing people to get up on dangerous places like that, I would think.
So basically, if you happened to, if the world was a different place, you were born in Canada, and you were protesting, you could find yourself up on top of Peter Mann's Bridge?
I'm scared of heights. I'm not likely to go on the top of Peter Mann's Bridge.
We found it quite fascinating the way that you guys held an election, and there was confusion about who voted for who, especially here in the state of Florida. And we're wondering if there's any discussion of adapting a Canadian system, like a prop style of voting. So it's the pine cone bark system, and if you're voting for the guy who's in power, you put a pine cone in the box. And if you're voting for the guy who's not in power, you put a piece of birch bark in the box. And that way there's no confusion.
I don't know. I think it sounds better than what we were doing.
Would you like the birch bark pine cone system? I mean, it's simple.
If that's the easiest thing to do, why not?
Like all those pictures of people examining the vote to determine, you don't have to examine a pine cone and a birch bark.
I agree.
It might sound odd, but there's no confusion whatsoever who you're voting for.
I think it's got merit to that. We can do that here.
In 30 years of democracy, we haven't had a single recount.
Actually, it couldn't be any worse than Chads and Dimples and...
Yeah, there's none of that. There's no Chads, there's no Dimples, there's no punch cards.
It's probably more ecologically sound.
I mean, the only problem we have in Canada is that after, say, 1,000 people have voted, that's very heavy. You get 150 pine cones, where's a couple of kilometers?
I'm sure we can deal with that.
Canada is thinking about getting a navy because Canada are allies with the United States, and if the U.S. gets in any trouble, we'd like to have a navy and help out. But a lot of people in Canada now are saying this is a really stupid idea because Canada doesn't have any access to the ocean, so why the hell would we have a navy? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you think we should have a navy, or do you think it makes no sense at all?
Well, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Do you think it makes sense? I don't know.
Well, no, I don't, personally, but then I'm a journalist, so I'm supposed to be unbiased.
I would say no. I'd say no.
But do you think there's any point in Canada having a navy if we don't have any access to ocean?
I don't know.
I really don't know. I'd stick to the air then if you don't have water.
We don't have harbors for a Navy.
Oh. Well, that's a good point, but I think if you can do it, everybody needs a Navy.
Right.
Because you never know. I mean, look what we're going through right now.
Maybe you could build a harbor.
Or we would have to keep our Canadian Navy in a U.S. port.
That would be really very good. Good trade relations.
You don't need a Navy. Just use the Americans. We'll help support you.
So do you think it's kind of a dumb idea for Canada to get a Navy if we don't have access to the ocean?
No, I think they should still have a Navy regardless.
But we'd have to park our ships in U.S. ports.
So we're all on the same side, aren't we?
Have you heard about the Genome Project?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Now, in Canada, students in Canada academically have always tested lower than students in the United States. And like when I was a student, this is something that we were always told to be ashamed of, and we were always striving to do as well as our American counterparts. Now, because of this Genome Project, these scientists are saying that 80% of Canadians are technically developmentally delayed. So basically, in the old days, they'd say retarded. In the old days. Now they say it's developmentally delayed. Now, the question is whether or not Canadians should be embarrassed about this or whether Canadians should just embrace it and celebrate it as part of their culture.
I think it's something you should celebrate. Whatever you have is something that you should celebrate.
You are what you are, and everybody should be able to make themselves into something fine.
You can always find the good side of something that is not quite up to par.
No, I think you should try to do something about it.
Right.
Try to improve would be the natural course.
So do you think that if this is the facts, though, do you think we should celebrate it?
Maybe it's the environment or from...
So right, so it could just be the fact that we're Canadian and it's our environment makes us test as if we're slightly retarded.
It seems to say that it's not the genes.
Be happy with what you are.
Okay, thanks very much.
Congratulations on the success of Canada, a retarded people's history.
Is this a joke?
No.
It's not?
No.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
All right.
Really?
No.
Really?
2001.
This is a joke, isn't it?
No.
That's a joke.
It's not. It's not. Why would you say that? The big news story this week is that Chief Gordon Lightfoot, Canada's native chief, is reasserting his people's treaty rights to hunt rhinoceros in northern Saskatchewan. The question is, should Canada honor its treaty with Chief Gordon Lightfoot? I mean, we did sign the treaty about 150 years ago.
Of course.
I just don't think you should abuse it.
Right.
And, put an animal to extinction.
Well, if it's a managed rhinoceros hunt, do you think it'd be okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Well, if it's not going to deplete the herd, and if they're going to die and get stuck in streams like elk do out in Colorado, where I'm from, then kill them.
I still say no.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Save the rhinoceros?
Yes, they're cute.
As you know, in the States, they're going to bring back the dollar coin. Now, in Canada, we've had a dollar coin for about 7 years. About 2 years ago, we brought in a $2 coin, and now we're introducing a $5 coin. Our $1 coin is called the loonie. The $2 coin is called the toonie. Now we're about to introduce the $5 coin. It has a maple leaf on it and a wooden texture, so people have taken to calling this coin the Woody.
Congratulations, Canada, on getting your first Woody.
We're doing a story on the fact the Canadian government has decided to do away with the Union Jack. We're actually going to have our own flag now. We're pretty excited about that. There's a couple of designs. One is kind of a hockey puck, a moose head, a flag with a fish, and another one is a maple leaf. What do you think?
I would say the hockey puck.
You go with a hockey puck?
Yeah, Canada and hockey.
Moose head.
The hockey puck.
I have to say the hockey puck.
I think the hockey puck might work, though.
Yeah?
Of course, the hockey puck. I mean, that's what y'all are known for, isn't it?
So here we are on location at NAPTI. Now this is where all the big TV companies come and they basically sell their TV shows and give away lots of food. If you look over here, you see a company called Cluster TV, and they got a full bar there, and the food is all free.
You're watching Jean Chrétien on Bumbling Through what?
Jean Chrétien, who is the mayor of Burlington, Ontario, is a big fan of Baywatch, and in fact has declared Baywatch Days again this year.
Thank you, Jean Chrétien, for declaring Baywatch Days.
You're watching Jean
Chrétien. So your show is called A Perfect 10?
We have a game show that's called Perfect 10. We also have a magazine and a video.
So you're a 10.
A 10.
What are you in metric?
You're watching Jean Chrétien on Channel 22, Bumbling Through My Feet. No, that's not it.
Jean Chrétien's Bumbling Adventures.
Well, it's your name.
Look at this booth. Percy Werner's booth, just on the floor. We'll just take a look at it. Just look at the size of it. It's 2 stories. It shows lovely. It's got a balcony up there. It's got a balcony up there. Look at this. This is all a booth. This is look. Little boardrooms there where I guess they would buy and sell their TV shows. I'd like a Heineken. It'd be great. Could the cameraman have a beer too? What do you think of Jean Chrétien? So all the Canadian producers of television and movies and stuff, they're all in this little tent city here, and each one has an identical little blue hut. You see that? So it's Canadian and kind of looks like public housing in the north or something. Can I get a moose head, please?
Pardon?
Can I get a moose head, please?
Yes, I will see if
I think she's going to see if there's a program called Moosehead. And the Canadian food spread is over here, and you can just imagine what that's going to be like. Nova Scotia smoked salmon, mussels from Newfoundland, pork from Ontario, Oka cheese perhaps from Quebec, fresh salmon from the West Coast. I can just imagine. And here we have it. There's lettuce. The mayor of Burlington in Canada, Jean Chrétien, has declared Springer Days.
Thank you, Jean Chrétien, for declaring Springer Days this summer, and maybe you'll declare Summer Days this spring. It's great to talk to you.
Okay, thanks very much. You do a great show. We're big fans in Canada. Thank you. It was recently revealed that 70% of grade 7 students in Canada couldn't find their state on an unmarked map and also couldn't name their congressman. Do you think this indicates that there's a crisis in our education system in Canada?
I think that would definitely indicate a crisis.
That's pretty sad, yeah.
Yeah? What about yourself?
Yeah, I think it's disgraceful that people are that unaware of the world that they live in.
Home state in Canada, there's really not that many of them, correct?
No.
There's like
11.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Congratulations, Canada, on allowing dogs as house pets.
We're planning to raise enough money to buy a few acres of rainforest land, and that helps to save the rainforest little by little.
So I've got a message to Prime Minister Guy Lafleur up there in Montreal.
To Prime Minister Guy Lafleur, Montreal, Canada. Whereas the Labrador mammoth elephantus is threatened by Labrador's unregulated urban sprawl.
We respectfully ask that the Government of Canada designate Labrador's woolly elephant an endangered species.
It's a great thing to do.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you. So you're trying to buy acres of rainforest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not a scam, is it? A recent survey in Canada showed that 70% of grade 7 students couldn't find their home state on an unmarked map. Do you believe that this shows that there's a crisis in Canada's public education system?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
Hang on. Canada has provinces.
The number one killer in Canada is still frostbite. Because of the state-run Medicare, people can't get the latest frost cream. Do you think hospitals should be privatized so people can have access to the frost cream they need?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good, right?
That's really good.
Tragically, the number one killer in Canada is still frostbite.
Yeah, that's really good.
Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco. It is one of the most visited neighborhoods in one of the most visited cities in the entire world. Tourists have been known to leave their hearts here, but the question is, will they keep their wits about them? In Vancouver, the caribou herd is overrunning Vancouver, and it's been decided to cull the herd. There's two options. One is the traditional method of hunting caribou, which is to pummel them with timbits. The second option is to shoot them with darts, and then, while they're sedated, to transport them to the Sydney tar ponds where they're from.
What's the first choice?
It's the traditional way. You just pummel the caribou with timbits.
With timbits.
Now say that again.
Pummel them with timbits. That's the traditional way.
Yeah, it's kind of cruel, though. I don't know. I wouldn't sleep very well at night if I had to actually pummel them with timbits.
Oh, no. That's mean.
Don't do that?
No.
No? A lot of people make their living selling timbits, right?
That's a good point.
And then also, when you transport them back to Sydney Cape Breton, you know, they wake up, they walk around for a bit, and then a couple of days later, they're back in Vancouver.
So that doesn't help the problem, then, does it?
No.
Get some good riflemen in there.
Okay. Over the timbits.
Or the timbits.
The question is, have you ever heard the term hullabaloo?
Hullabaloo?
Yourself?
Yes, I have. I've heard it used a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of hullabaloo about nothing.
In Canada, the word hullabaloo is a negative word, and it's very painful for Canadians because it refers to people from Hull in Quebec, and it has a very negative connotation. If we use the word hullabaloo, like in this piece, we'll have to beep it in Canada.
You're kidding.
We'll have to beep the word.
Is that like using the N-word, describing blacks?
Yeah, so we'd beep it. I can say it because I'm a hullabaloonian.
Okay.
You know how?
I didn't realize it was that bad, honestly.
I'm one American that won't use hullabaloo again.
They'll say I'll never use the H word again.
I'm one American who will never use hullabaloo because it's hurtful to Canadians.
Do you see the boat on there?
Yes.
That's the Blue Nose. It was one of the most successful racing schooners in the world. It was a Canadian racing schooner, the Blue Nose. I don't know if you learned about it in school or not. Our most famous racing captain, his name is Blinky Mulrooney, is now building a replica of this boat. It's called the Brown Nose, and it's going to be in America's Cup.
America salutes Marooney's Brown Nose.
Work from Canada. Do you think Al Gore would know that Toronto was the capital of Canada?
Well, I would hope so, but he probably does.
You don't hear him talk about Canada, do you?
No, you don't. Of course not.
That's true, you don't. No.
Do you think he'd know that Toronto was the capital of Canada?
Well, I'll give him credit. He might know that.
So you two are big Gore supporters?
Very much so.
Pretty politically active?
Very much so.
Yes. Do you think it might be a good idea if Canada allowed daily newspapers?
Definitely think so. Why don't they?
Congratulations, Canada, on reaching a population of 1 million.
So you'd be voting for Gore?
I believe so. Congratulations, Canada, for legalizing VCRs.
So you used to work in news?
I did for about 15 years. Congratulations, Canada, on legalizing staplers.
Congratulations, Canada, on getting electric lights in Parliament.
Congratulations, Canada, for finishing the Channel to China.
If you were a Canadian, you'd like to see Canada allow daily newspapers?
Absolutely.
So we should have a daily newspaper in Canada?
I would think that for those people that would take advantage of it, certainly.
Mr. Gore, question from Canada. You know, it is a tradition that newly elected presidents always make their first foreign visit trip to the capital of Canada. Can we expect to see President Gore in Toronto in the new year?
Well, I'm just focused on the election.
Do you think he'd know, like, that Toronto was the capital of Canada?
Well, yeah, if you think that's real important.
This state are going to the polls today. And I like our chances.
Excuse me, Secretary, question from Canada, from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Prime Minister Jean Poutine said that he wouldn't endorse any candidate in this race. The Prime Minister of Canada, Jean Poutine, said that he would not endorse any candidate in this race, and today he said that he believed that George W. Bush should be the man to lead the free world into the 21st century. How important is this endorsement?
I think he's a very smart man to make that endorsement because he's exactly right.
Governor Engler, question from Canada. Question from Canada. Prime Minister Jean Poutine said that he wouldn't endorse any candidate in this election. Now he said that he believes George W. Bush is the man to lead the free world into the 21st century. Is this an important endorsement?
I certainly think he's got very good judgment in making that kind of a statement about George W. Bush.
Do you believe Mr. Bush will be happy to hear about Mr. Poutine's endorsement?
I think he'll be very, very ecstatic to hear that. I know he thinks very highly of him and regards him very highly. So
thanks very much.
Very happy to hear that.
Governor Bush, a question from Canada.
Good luck.
Question from Canada.
All right, what about it?
Prime Minister Jean Poutine said that he wouldn't endorse any candidate. He says that you look like the man who should lead the free world into the 21st century. Yeah, so what do you think about that? How's his endorsement?
Well, I appreciate his strong statement. He understands I believe in free trade. He understands I want to make sure our relations with our most important neighbor to the north of us, the Canadians, is strong, and we'll work closely together.
Stanford University, California. Graduates of this place have received 17 Nobel Prizes for science. It is located in the very heart of Silicon Valley. It is the first and only choice for those whose destiny involves the new knowledge and the global economy. In Canada, we're facing a doctor strike in Quebec, and the issue is smoking, because the Department of Health has said that doctors in Quebec can no longer smoke during surgery, and doctors see it as an assault on the French-Canadian culture if they can't smoke in the surgery theater.
Okay. Well, I guess if they could get the permission of their patients beforehand.
Actually, it really wouldn't bother me, but I don't speak for everybody.
I think the patient should have the right to decide whether the doctor would be smoking.
These people are saying, well, this is an attack on the French culture if we can't have a glass of wine and a cigarette during surgery, and sometimes they could go on for 5 hours. This is their argument.
I understand that, but there's certain health protocols that need to be followed.
In America, you have Jackson's Hole, Wyoming, and Woods Hole, Massachusetts. In Canada, we have an ecological preserve. It's called Joe Clark's Hole. It's getting a lot of attention as an ecological wonder. A lot of young people especially want to come visit it and such, but it's very dangerous there, and we've lost a couple of tourists this year, and as a result, there's a movement in Canada to just seal Joe Clark's Hole entirely from the public, and people would not be able to enter it.
Obviously, anything that we can do to preserve the environment would be in everybody's best interest.
Well, I think it's every person's right to go see what they want, even though it may be dangerous. And yes, they'll probably have to know the precautions and have to maybe have someone take them in there who's been trained.
So would you agree that we should probably, as Canadians, we should keep all trained vehicles out of Joe Clark's Hole?
Well, it sounds, I don't know, I can't say what the Canadians should do.
So if you were going into Joe Clark's Hole, you would prefer to hike versus take an all-trained vehicle?
Yeah, or bicycle.
No to helicopter tours in Joe Clark's Hole. Congratulations, Canada, for offering bilingual tours of Joe Clark's Hole.
And on that note, it is time to say goodbye from Washington, D.C. I trust you'll agree when I say that this broadcast has a great educational purpose. In fact, it is my fond dream that someday this program will be shown in all of our schools. And if only one child is inspired by our 24-hour clock, our national igloo, our Saskatchewan seal hunt, or yes, even the bilingual tours of a great ecological preserve, well then, it will have been worth it. Good night from Washington, D.C. I'm Rick Mercer. God bless America. Very good. Well, we're doing a story on global warming in Canada. It looks like our polar ice cap is going to break in two, which would make Canada bipolar. And the plan is to push the two poles back together. What are you laughing at? Huh.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And Canada has a tugboat. We call it the Theodore, and the idea would be that the United States would provide the other tugboat. So the question is, do you think the United States would assist a bipolar Canada in this endeavor? What are you laughing at? What?
Are you serious?
Yes, what?
You're kidding, right?
What,
You're asking if
you've never heard of global warming?
The United States will.
You've never heard of global warming?
Yeah, I have, but okay.
And the melting of the.
Okay, what exactly are you asking? If the United States will.
If our polar ice cap
Okay.
breaks in half,
All right.
which scientists are saying it will.
Okay.
The suggestion is, if we catch it early on, it can be put back together
Okay.
by the use of tugboats.
Okay.
Right? Now, Canada, like giant tugboats, really big ones, right? So you think that the United States should assist a bipolar Canada? What do you find? You're the only person who's found global warming funny.
Are you serious?
Not that I mind.
I'm the only person who laughed at this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
Well, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.